thing about it like having to be in the middle of an atomic bomb test, I think, and they did. I think Spielberg has a thing for nuking fridges. Really, like it's just.
I saw Indiana Jones 4 when I was living in Korea. You were there too. Did you go see it in the theaters out there?
Yeah.
What did you? I gotta tell you, man. When I walked out of Indy 4, I was like, that was fine.
Yeah.
It didn't wreck my life.
I thought it was all right. It was kind of. I was like, yeah, there were some bits that were a bit weird, like the swinging with monkeys Tarzan sequence was a bit kind of out there.
And then the aliens.
I liked having more Indiana Jones in my life. And like that's a quote I've seen about, the potential of remaking Back to the Future. It's like if it's rubbish, I don't have to watch it. But if it's good, that's more Back to the Future in my life.
How do you see the remake happening? I mean, Bob Gale and Zemeckis say they won't let it happen.
Vehemently against it.
How would a remake work, do you think?
I think it would be really interesting to like revisit, but say it starts in 2015 and it goes back to 1985.
Oh.
And goes forward to 2045. Like take the fish out of water kind of thing, but kind of explore that from like the current perspective, like where we are in timeline now. Like I think that would be quite an interesting thing. You probably wouldn't build it out of a DeLorean at this stage, given that they're slightly obsolete.
A Mustang?
You could do a Mustang.
They didn't want that. It would be a Tesla now.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, it's already got built-in electrical generation capabilities.
It probably has a flux capacitor. And I know something in there goes to 11 when it normally should go to 10 because that guy's a huge fan of Elon's a huge fan of Spinal Tap. Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis was telling that story. Yeah, so he goes back in time. Okay, you know what's wild is, 85 to 55. But then what? If they go back to 85 from now, like I'd like to see a high schooler deal with 85. I
think that like no cell phones, no internet.
Yeah. Just calling people on payphones.
Yeah, calling people on their house phone and having to like ask their parents if you can speak to them.
Whoa, that would be okay. In 85, Marty didn't have a cell phone, so in 55 there's still cell phones. There were still cars, there's still TV. So he didn't have to adjust to much, right? I mean, there's definitely big jumps in technology. But imagine a kid who's addicted to cell phones getting put in 85.
It's like, oh, right. Why have I got no signal on my phone?
Oh, man. That'd be, I think, listen, high schoolers they could figure it out. But that could make for a fun story. But I guess the problem is, Back to the Future, it just seems like it was kind of lightning in a bottle, the way it came about. It just seems like so many people had their hands in it. Like Sid.
I think the people who were involved in it and like how much they've gone on to do since then. Like it's kind of ridiculous. Like Alan Silvestri did the music. Like he's like he did Forrest Gump. He did all the Avengers movies. He's a bunch of other like really cool stuff. Yeah. They had the Back to the Future TV show, which launched Bill Nye the Science Guy. Like that's
really.
Yeah.
I never even heard of the Back to the Future television show.
Oh, it was it was an animated TV show, and then it was on TV in like the early 90s, and it started with like a segment with Christopher Lloyd in his lab with his assistant who was Bill Nye.
Oh wow!
Before Bill Nye, and then Bill Nye got his series off the back of that.
I haven't watched his Netflix show because the title Bill Nye Saves the World. It's like get over yourself, Bill Nye. Bill Nye.
You see, the thing not being US, I never really knew who Bill Nye was until a few years ago when it was like popping up in pop culture elsewhere, and I was like, oh, okay, this guy famous in the US or something.
I think if you have a show called Saves the World, you might need to kind of, I don't know, that's a little squirrely. But also, I guess another thing about this movie, just the kind of individual performances, like Crispin Glover, his performance is from another planet in this movie. And they had to ADR most of his dialogue because he was so nervous. Yeah,
and it helps because like his character was like, super nervous, this like really geeky guy who liked the girl but never even dreamed of talking to her.
And I love how they sneak in some really weird themes in this movie. So, you have the incest plotline, but you also have, he was originally supposed to get hit by a car because he was being a peeping Tom on Lorraine. He's in a tree with binoculars, spying on her changing.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all, right?
And then they never discuss it again.
He's like, yeah, bird watching. Yeah, that's what he was up to. Going back to how tight the script was, like they brought that up at the breakfast table the morning of the thing, and it's like, oh yeah, that's how you and your father met. I hit him with the car because he was bird watching.
I guess, well, you know how they call it, like, remember back in gangster films, a bird, bird, like they call him a bird, like ladies were called birds. So yeah, I guess he was bird watching.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like in the UK, like it's still used like slang for a girl is bird.
Oh really? Oh, so maybe he told the truth.
Hey,
all right,
a little bit of innuendo. Yeah.
But imagine being, all right, so you know your dad used to spy on your mom in a tree creepily, but you know that if you don't get them back together, you're Dunsky, and so are your brother and sister. So you have this kind of creepy dad.
Creepy dad, creepy mom who's hitting on you.
Yeah. She takes off your pants and calls you Calvin Klein.
That's funny.
I mean, it's just, watching this movie again, you're like, wow, I did not remember this plot line all that well. And then Biff later on in the car. This is... But I kind of like it, though. I feel like this movie definitely, I think it respects the audience. I think it respects teenagers. It doesn't kind of stay away from these themes. And, like, another thing about it, what do you think about this? Like, so many movies have tried to recreate this formula, and the movies have done it beforehand. But, okay, you meet Michael J. Fox. He's late for school, right? And then he is, like, goes home, but then he has to run to meet Doc. And then then they're chased by the Libyans. And then he ends up in a time thing. And then he goes... he's running all over town confused, and he meets Doc. Then he learns he has 3 days to fix it. And then they have to get to the dance, and then they have to run here, run there. And at the end, they have to get 88 miles an hour, but there's a tree that falls on the thing. It's just like a breakneck pace for the entire movie. I mean, this thing, I think movies like that sometimes want to capture the tone of this movie, but I think that's another reason why it's so watchable, because it just sort of propels itself forward.
Yeah, like I find I can't watch just one Back to the Future movie. Like I find it pushes me on so much that by the time I get to the end and like it signs off with like, oh, where we're going, we don't need roads. I need to watch more. Like I need to continue. Like, got me so built up that it's like I have to continue watching.
And like, what happens next? Like, it's just, I don't know. And then also, I think another reason too is, like, I think Biff too is one of the most, I don't know, the actor who did it, Thomas Wilson, he was a comedian, but for some reason he was able to capture this jerk. Like in a pantheon of jerks, you have Chet from Weird Science.
Yeah.
Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore.
And all the kind of various tannins across the movies.
Oh yeah. And he pulls, in that book you read, is he 7 tannins?
Yeah, he's like Biff, Griff, old Biff, a different version. Like there's Trump Biff.
Yeah. Mecha Biff. And then there's like Evil Biff. And I thought that was a pretty, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just like this character.
Biff, or Griff, whatever he was called, or Mad Dog.
But I just like, I don't know, what do you think it is about his performance that just, because he, like when there's, so I do a lot of weird lists, Niall, and I write about a lot of weird topics. And whenever I research like jerks or jerk moments, he's always in it. So like what, is it the writing? Like what do you think it is about him that is just so, just jerkable? Like there's so many jerks in movies, right? That like you get bullies, but they just act really mean and kind of, like you're like, I don't know. Well, this dude just captures an essence of a jerk. So I can't really put it in a articulate phrase.
Yeah, he just like nailed it basically.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
He just had, I guess he just figured it out. Like it's very hard to see. Like people have tried and kind of copied. And it's like, okay, you have to be like really mean and like have an aggressive posture and stuff. But like he just kind of got the combination perfect. Mm-hmm. The little bit of stupidity helps to kind of humanize him a bit as well, like the getting idioms wrong and kind of.
Oh, I love that. Make like a tree and get out of here?
Yeah. The sec comes back and like corrects him as make like a tree and leave. You make us look stupid.
I don't even remember that. Is that from the second one?
Yeah, that's in the second one.
All right. Have you ever seen the movie Not Another Teen Movie?
Yeah.
Like there's a scene where that guy goes, "I'm gonna make like a tree and branch."
That's.
So I say that now. I think I always catch people off guard because they think I'm gonna tell them to get out of here,
Yeah.
But I always say in branch.
Interesting.
Throw them off, man. I'll let you have that one for free.
Yeah, it's just very interesting. But look, do you know they've got a musical about it now?
Wait, is it in production or is it real? Is it really happening?
So unfortunately it's put on hiatus because of the whole COVID thing, but they premiered in the UK a couple of months ago in February.
Are you gonna go see it?
Yeah, as soon as it reopens. Well, I might wait until it actually comes to the West End because it debuted in Manchester.
Oh, okay.
Which, a little bit further north. I suppose I could make a weekend of it and go to the football as well. But,
are you a United guy?
Yeah. Though I don't really follow it anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am. I'm United.
Yeah, there's a photo of us watching the Champions League final together at 6 a.m. and back in the day.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
You know, I started liking them because the whole soccer team hated that I wore all the different jerseys. I would buy a Chelsea Liverpool kit for $3 and they were knockoffs.
I used to go to the dodgy
the market and get I'd haggle with them and get all Chelsea, Man U, all the different ones, and then all the guys would get mad at me because I was wearing a different kit each day.
Yeah, you're only allowed one.
Yeah, and then Patrick McCabe was he took off his shirt and gave it to me. He's like, "You're a Man U fan. Vidic is cool. You'll like Van der Sar. That's all you need to know." I was like, "Okay, that's cool.
Fair enough."
And then when I came back and told people I was a Man U fan, they're like, "You're pretentious." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, you're right.
It only ran, I guess, for a month before everything got shut down, and the reviews were kind of mixed. It was if you are a huge Back to the Future fan, you will love it. Otherwise, maybe give it a miss.
Got it. So it's not going to do broad, what the producers crossed over big time. I think that was able to kind of, if you were a fan of the movie, you loved it, but you also love musicals. So this is more of a niche.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of much more niche. But yeah, I'd love to see it. I think it would just be a really cool experience.
I want to see you in the revival. You should get a role, man.
Who would I play?
Oh, all right. So who would you play? Let's see. You'd probably have to be Dad George McFly, man.
George McFly?
Or the brother.
I don't know if I could play a 17-year-old myself these days. Coming through in the beard.
Yeah, I mean, but you're far away from people, and there's bright lights. They can take care of you. Let's see, Biff. No, not Biff.
You could be the old forehead and.
Could you go big? Could you be Christopher Lloyd?
Don't know. Not really my style. I don't think I could pull that one off.
You'd have to be the teacher then. You'd have to be the principal.
Principal?
Or Huey Lewis. Just saying it's too loud. Too dang loud. That's your role right there.
Well, that's kind of me these days. I'm the grumpy old guy. It's everything's too loud. I see people living opposite me who have a big garden. They're having a barbecue. It's they shouldn't be outside having fun together while I'm stuck inside.
Counting the number of people that are in the group.
I'm just
just calling up. All right, so how about this? Let's take a quick break, and then we come back. We'll talk more Back to the Future. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. And I gotta tell you, man, you're looking like that vest. Are you part of the Coast Guard? What's going on? You're wearing an interesting outfit there.
My life preserver?
Yeah.
Just jumped ship.
That's such a weird subplot, isn't it? And that had to be rewritten because of the addition of Michael J. Fox. They had to kind of re-outfit him, because he was not wearing the same outfit as Stoltz.
Yeah, I guess because Stoltz is 6 foot, probably. Yeah. 6'1", and then Michael J. Fox is 5'4".
Yeah. And I feel bad for the actress that was cast to play alongside Stoltz. Because
well, it was originally Leah Thompson, but then it went on hiatus and she wasn't able to do it, and then they brought in somebody else who never even got to film a scene, and then when they got rid of Eric Stoltz, then they brought in Michael J. Fox, and then Leah Thompson was able to do it, and it was all like this.
Oh, wow. And that happened to Claudia Wells, too, right? She was, Claudia Wells was in this movie as... Oh,
yeah.
God. Yeah. Wait, I got her name up here. But yeah, she's the girlfriend in this. Jennifer?
Yeah.
I want to say? Jennifer. Yeah, then she came back, because she had a pilot that didn't do well. So, I mean, this movie... And then, Michael J. Fox was... He was filming all day.
Wasn't it? He was... Was it All My Family or something? I can't remember the name of the
He
show.
was doing oh geez Louise, why can't I think of that name? People